If you're looking for an alarm system but you're confused by all the various different options available to you, then you're in the right place. Keep watching. My name's Scott. I've been in the security industry for over 30 years, and in this video I'm going to explain about the 5 main types of sensor used in an alarm system. So hopefully by the end of it you'll have a greater understanding of what each one is, what it does, where it's good and where it's not. Keep watching. Probably the most popular sensor used in alarm systems these days is the passive infrared motion sensor, or PIR for short. It works by sensing the movement of heat across its field of vision. Obviously, we as human beings are warm-blooded and therefore produce body heat, and the PIR senses the movement of that heat across its field of view. It's good for covering a room, especially a room which might have more than one window or door into it, because if you needed to cover each individual opening, door or window, then things would get quite expensive, where one sensor would cover the whole room. Where it's not quite so great is where you might have drafts which move pockets of warm air around unnaturally. Places like garages, for instance, or warehouses. Those aren't quite so great for PIRs. The next sensor I'm going to talk about is the door sensor, or door contact. These are a magnetic sensor, so you have the main sensor on the door and a magnet on the frame, or the other way around. It doesn't matter too much which. And as the door opens, the magnet moves away from the sensor, and it allows a switch within the door, within the contact rather, to go open. And as the door shuts, the magnetic field is restored, and it physically pulls by magnetism a switch closed within the electronics. And in that way, it senses whether the door or window is open or closed. Very, very simple. Been used many times in many alarm systems throughout the world. Where it's not so great is, as I said in the previous item, if you've got more than one door or window into an area and you need to cover them all, then having a door sensor on each of those can get quite expensive. The next one to talk about is the dual technology sensor. I mentioned previously that a PIR isn't quite so good in drafty areas like warehouses and garages, where you can get movements of pockets of heat, and that can confuse a standard PIR. So the solution to that, I guess originally, was to use a microwave sensor, which sends out microwaves, and that senses movement of anything. The problem with those is that they can look beyond walls, so you would sense the movement of something outside the area that you're trying to cover. So to get the best of both worlds, they combine both PIR and microwave into a dual technology sensor. A bit more expensive, so you wouldn't want to use it where a PIR would do, but as I say, in garages, warehouses, larger spaces which have drafts in, they're a great option. The next sensor to talk about is the shock sensor, also known as a vibration sensor. In conservatories and homes, you wouldn't want to use a PIR because, again, you've got a fairly wide space which is susceptible to quick build-up of heat, where the sun comes in through all the glass and heats things up. That can occasionally cause problems with the PIR. And door and window contact sensors, again, you've probably got a number of different doors and windows that it'll be quite expensive to sense, to use a sensor on each one. So we can use a vibration sensor, which will sense, as it says, the vibrations of someone trying to break in by force through a door or a window, especially with kind of UPVC conservatories where they are quite flexible anyway. These work great in that area. The last one I'm going to talk about today is the glass break sensor. This is an acoustic device. It listens and tries to recognise the sound of breaking glass. So in a conservatory again, or in a shop where you've got large glass windows, if someone was to try and smash their way in through that, the sensor would recognise the sound of breaking glass and would trigger that way. We once had a problem with one of those where a fire extinguisher bracket fell off the wall, and the glass break sensor thought that it was breaking glass when actually it was metal going all over the place. So again, not the most reliable, but would do a job in certain circumstances. There you have it, a brief whistle-stop tour of the main types of sensors that we use in burglar alarm systems.